Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. So basically, I am in the closet recording this, okay? Because I was like, you know what? The closet is going to have a lot of soundproofing because of clothing. Hack. That's a hack, I guess. Anyway, thank you guys again for tuning in because, of course, we're talking about this week's, or technically last week's episode of Bad Buddy, the series. So this is about episode 9. Now everyone knows about their relationship because they have been outed. So of course, I was getting ready to kind of fast forward because I was like, we already saw this. I want to see what happens next. But then we find out how we got to this situation. Remember when I said why has I think I am the main character energy? Jeez. And definitely how the friend groups reacted to the news that Pat and Pran are together shows that Y really is like the main character of that group. Everybody goes off of what Y says. Because I kind of thought, oh wow, maybe the other group is Korn's group. I didn't realize. And then we find out, oh no, Korn's just keeping up appearances for the senior. The guys are just keeping up appearances for the seniors. They want to talk to Pat about it. They of course still care about their friend. And we see that with Korn like being like, here's your food, I'm so sorry, I'm on your side, I just have to, I don't have a choice. And Pat's understanding of that. But I even though of course the circumstances of them being outed, why sucks, I'm glad to see that the people who matter to me, Korn and Ink, of course, take it so well and are just like, oh yay, that's cool, congratulations guys. And just Korn being Korn. I've said before, I love the actor Drake. I just love that guy. So I'm very happy to see him in this, and I'm really enjoying his character and everything he does. But yeah, let's talk about Y for a bit. So we learn in the beginning of episode 9 that Y figured it out that, well, first of all, they were stupid, because I was like, why are they having this conversation on the stage? But of course, yeah, the stage is mic'd. The other dude, don't know his name, hears it, gives it to Y and goes, hey, doesn't that sound like Pran? And Y hears the conversation, knows what's going on, and hits the thing to drop the, to let everyone hear and drop the things so everyone can see them on stage. Because he's upset? Which, that made no sense to me, because I'm like, why not just like hold on to that information and go talk to him later? But then of course we learn Y is the one who saw Pran get into Pat's car. So I'm like, did Y know it was Pat's car the whole time? Because it didn't seem like it. Maybe he just figured Pran lied to him about what he was actually doing, and now he knows what Pran was lying about. Who knows? But yeah, like, and the fact that Pran was like trying to get Y's forgiveness, I'm like, he outed you. Like, do you not know he was the one that outed you? Is that it? Like, is that why you want his forgiveness? Like, what? But of course, people for the most part take it pretty well, I guess. I mean, it's people are more upset that they're in the two different faculties and dating, and no one really cares about the fact that they're two guys, which is very refreshing. If you know what I mean. Like, so many shows, they focus and harp on that so much. It's refreshing to see a show where it's just like, you're with someone in that course of study? How dare you? That just be the focus. But I'm also imagining the conversation. How dare you date that guy? Wait, you have a problem with him dating guys? No. He's an engineering student. How dare you date an engineering student? Like, to me, that is hilarious. But yeah, the fact that Pran basically spends the entire episode, for the most part, trying to seek Y's forgiveness, really makes me mad, because I'm like, why? You need better friends. Like, he is not a good friend. A good friend is Korn. Korn also, like, asked Pat, like, hey, are you trying to get with someone in the architecture degree faculty course? And Pat denied it, and Korn didn't have that whole situation happen and be like, why didn't you just tell me the truth? How dare you? He was just like, okay, dude, you have a boyfriend. All right, cool. That's great. And he didn't hold on to it as an attack against himself. He understood why his friend wasn't telling him the truth. Like, so it goes back. Korn is like a great friend. I still really love Pat's friend group and the chemistry that those characters have with each other, and how they seem to be like a straight up, diehard group versus Plan's group, where I'm like, why are you hanging out with these guys? Like, they don't have your back. Like, anyway. And of course, Wise Mouth. Oh my gosh, that boy can chat. We saw it in the first episode. The reason why everybody was trying to beat him up, the reason why there were so many dang fights was because of why. And we see Wise Mouth cash a check. He can't, wait, no, what is it? Like, cash a check he can't sign? What is this saying? I'm sorry, I don't know this saying. But his mouth kept running and he couldn't back it up. And it's so obvious that Wise used to like just talking his mouth off and fighting people who are just going to fight back. We're going to meet him equally. He's not used to people who are going to take it a step up. He's not used to people who are ignorant. They get ignorant. He's not used to it. And when he met someone who was about that life, he learned real fast. But yeah. Oh, I will say, when they were playing the rugby match, the same guy, I saw him, like, was watching the scene of the rugby match. I'm like, ooh, who's he? He cute. And then they showed them talking later, and I'm like, oh, are we gonna see more of them? Is that gonna be the whole, because, in the beginning we see all the guys walking together. I'm like, oh, is that a scene in the show? They're going to be walking together because as a group they now have to stand up against this other school and their rugby team. And then the bar scene happens, and the bar scene, and after the bar scene, oh gosh, I also got pretty upset on the scene after, when they were fighting in the street and the dude left the gun at the scene. This is why I got upset. I was like, I'm a wannabe thug. I'm not a thug. I can't be a thug. I'm not about that street life. But part of me wishes I was about that street life. Because I'm like, oh, it'd be so fun to be like the gangster. I'm not a gangster though. I'm not about that gangster stuff. But that's why I leave the gun. I was like, how you gonna leave your piece? Dude, you dropped your... Dude, where's your strap? Like, I was so mad. I was like, how he leave his gun? How he leave his gun at the scene? He left his gun. They gonna find him. But that's the thing. I'm also thinking, like, in American levels, where, like, I keep forgetting in like Thailand, of course, the gun laws, I'm sure, are pretty different, because when you see guns in Thai shows, it usually relates to like the gangster shows, or the Three Will Be Free, where it was more of a drama piece. It doesn't really, guns don't really appear much in like shows where it's like a slice of life. You don't really see scenes with guns. That's safe for dramas and such. Versus in American shows, there's a Static Shock episode about gun violence. I'm laughing. Yes, but I promise I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so sad. Like, in a kid's cartoon, they had to have a very special episode about basically school shootings. Just think about that. And so, like, seeing this part in this episode and that whole, gun ordeal, like, because in the American shows, like in Static Shock, it's very easy to know where that kid got that gun. He got the gun from his dad. He went into his dad's lock and took the gun out. Versus this one, when they were trying to figure out whose gun it is, I'm like, why are they trying to figure out whose gun it is? Just check the serial number. Like that. Like the dude said it's not his gun, and I'm like, and also I was like, that's kind of really bad police work, because the dude got shot with the gun. You're telling me you didn't check the gun to see if it was the gun that shot him? And like, he told you he struggled with a person, and that's why his fingerprints is on the gun. But doesn't that mean the other person's fingerprints are on the gun as well? Like, are y'all that stupid? Like, I was going through so many scenarios, but I was like, this is another country. Who knows how their police system works? It might be one of those where, who did the crime? Well, you're here, so you did it. I don't know. I'm not familiar with their police system, but I'm familiar with another country's police system that definitely would do that. Oh my gosh. You're here. We'll just say you did it unless someone else comes up. It's sad. Again, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so sad that something like this is true. Like, my life. Anyway, so yeah, that whole thing where they were like trying to figure out whose gun it is, I was like, that's stupid. And also when he dropped the gun, I was like, are you an idiot? Pick your gun up. But yeah, because if the gun wasn't there, also I guess that whole scene would have been needed. So they would have needed more runtime. But also it makes me wonder, because I don't know exactly who the writer is. What's their name? Afterday. So I don't know how old they are or anything like that. So maybe it's a situation where they also don't know exactly how the system works as far as the police and gun cases and stuff like that. So they wrote that they're thinking, oh, that would be really cool, and we'll just say that, when in reality that would never happen, where they would actually be like, okay, your fingerprints are on the gun because we were fighting the person for the gun. We have another set of fingerprints. Which school did they go to? And it would go from there. With them trying to figure out whose gun it is. But of course, we needed that scene. We needed it there because it's how Y and Pran finally mended their friendship, even though I don't think Y deserves it. Y does not deserve Pran's friendship. But yeah, their friendship gets mended because, Y has to, of course, come to terms with the fact that Pat had his back. Like, he's Pat's teammate on the rugby team, and Pat had his back. Pat was there in a crunch and took on this dude for him because he couldn't shut his mouth. Is it run a check you can't cash out? I'm still thinking about, like, what is that thing? I'm gonna look it up later and be like, oh man, why didn't I realize it was that? Anyway, yeah, Y to me is just a horrible friend, a bad friend. It's his fault for everything. So blame Y on all fronts. One thing of course I'm going to talk about is Ink and Pa. Ooh. I love Ink and Pa. I've already said that I love Ink and Pa. I'm a Pa Ink shipper, Ink Pa shipper, whatever it is, I'm there for it. So we have that lovely scene where the four of them have dinner, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, ooh, the two couples. But let's talk about the dinner real quick, because they covered some of the tropes right there, which is like, the trope I hate is like, I'm not into guys, I just really like him, which, yes, I'm sure it does exist for some people, but when every single show does it, it really just like takes away from ever showing like a gay experience, or the fact that people can be more than just gay. They can be bi, they can be pan, they can be, so many other things, and it doesn't depict that. And with them with Pat going, I guess I just never realized I was into guys as well. It really was like, yeah, that's cool for him to say, I just didn't realize I was into guys too, because I think I brought up before the no kiss list with what's her name, Victoria Justice. were in it, the chick from Victorious, were in it, the guy in the end says he knows he's not gay, but he's not straight either, because now he's with a guy, and he's still trying to figure out what exactly is his label. And I kind of like that they kind of went that route with Pat saying, you know, I'm not just into girls, or maybe I am gay, who knows. I really liked that. I love how his sister's like, oh, I thought you were gonna say, oh, I don't like guys, I only like him, and he just as a joke was like, oh yeah, sure, let's say that. As if to be like, oh yeah, that's more romantic. And also the hospital scene, I will say I also like when the two of them talk about the whole wife and husband thing, which, if you are a couple and you want to call each other that, that's cool, that's your own thing. But the fact that Pran says, do you do that to make yourself feel better than me? Like, that was great. And the fact that he tells him, like, you don't need to do that, just calling me your boyfriend, like, makes me blush. Like, oh, that was so cute. And that, I think, also is an important trope to get away from. It's an annoying trope. It's a very annoying trope. I would like to see less and less of it. Like, I love Korn and Knock from Together With Me, the series, but that is annoying. That is annoying. Stop that. Anyway, and the actors do it all the time too, like as jokes, and I'm like, ugh. It's only funny because you have like your face that is cute, and I'm gonna laugh at whatever you say because your faces are cute, but stop it. The more attractive someone is, or the more you are attracted to someone, like you find someone attractive, the more you find their jokes funny. Not even a joke. It's apparently some form of science. Who knows? I don't know. It's not. They can be pretty funny. Oh, that's actually from that show. Pretty funny. If you know the show, you know the show. Anyway, moving on. More about Pa Inc. So when Pa and Ink, went outside and they're talking, and Ink is testing the waters. Yo, my heart sunk. Especially when Ink is like moving Pa's hair around. Like it looked more like she was going, I guess this is not gonna happen, so I'm just gonna take advantage of this moment to tell you goodbye and caress your hair, and I'm out. I'm a Pa Inc shipper, and I guess now that Y and Pat are on good terms, Y can try and shoot his shot with Pa. Would I be for it? Hell no. Y doesn't deserve any happiness. I can't stand that guy. Sorry. Like, I can't stand him. Like, oh, how dare he? And he was already like a character I kind of found slightly annoying, but I'm like, well, we need him. He's the antagonist of the show. Now I'm like, he can go. He can go. I would not miss him. We need him for the drama. I know that, but I hate that guy. So yeah, at the end of the show, Pran getting caught walking out of Pat's hospital room. Now, one thing I really wish the characters could have done, Pat, Pran, and Pa, is kind of just tell their parents, look, y'all hate each other, we don't hate each other, we're friends. And that's why Pran is in the room, like, we've been friends, and you know, if they're not ready to come out to them about the relationship, that's really not a big deal, honestly. It makes sense, because they're still financially reliant on their parents. Their parents are paying their school fees and for the dorms they live in. You heard? Yeah, I understand it. And they're gonna pay that hospital bill. But, you know, their families are in a situation where if they said to them, look, we're friends, like, y'all aren't friends, we're friends, their parents would just probably get mad and move them from their schools. His mom would just transfer him again. Well, we're in the age of cell phones, and we got Rihanna's internet. Y'all can talk on FaceTime. I don't know. But yeah, it actually makes me really excited to see what's about to happen next, because we know that they're going to look into their dads to find out why their dads hate each other so much. But one of the things is, it seems the mom is really angry. Like Pran's mom, she seems to be like the one with the most rage, in my opinion, because the way she when they were having dinner, she was like, look, you can date breakfast, sorry. She was like, you can date whoever you want. I don't care who you bring home. It can be a guy, it can be a girl. Not a big deal. But don't bring home those kids next door. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. I'm tired. But yeah, the way she's like, don't bring up any of those kids next door, but you can be with whoever you want. Makes me wonder, is it the mom who's really angry? Is it the mom that's keeping up, Fran's mom, that's keeping up this rage thing, like this rage against them? Like, what is going on? Maybe we'll find out it really is just the dads. But I'm also confused because they're looking at college, and I'm like, I thought, based on the first episode, I thought the dads met each other when their businesses opened beside each other, and they ended up being neighbors, and that's when they met, and they've just always hated each other. But, again, haven't read the books. Well, not the books, the book. But yeah, as usual, loving and Nanon's performance. And it's actually making me want to go back and watch Edge of 17 again, because I remember watching Edge of 17 and not fully being a fan of Nanon in that. And I kind of want to rewatch it. Like, was I a fan? Why wasn't I really a fan of him in that? Was I just so focused on the B plotline, which I wasn't. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of the show overall. I liked it, but it wasn't the greatest thing ever. But anyway, not important right now, because we're focused on Bad Buddy the series. So this is episode 9. Episode 10 is coming out this Friday. You can watch it on YouTube. In my episode 8 review, I linked the podcast. Sorry about that. I linked the playlist. I'll try and remember to link the playlist in this review as well, so you can go check out all the episodes in order. They're making sure to put the episodes in there once they've been uploaded to YouTube. You'll be able to watch all the episodes back to back if you want. I love watching episodes of shows on YouTube in playlists, because then you don't have to go find this episode. Sometimes the episode doesn't pop up, so just watching it in a playlist and having them all play in order is perfect. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I'm having so much fun with this show, and I'm having so much fun sharing all the episodes with you guys and talking about the episodes with you guys. Is there anything I missed that I wanted to talk about? Not really. I mean, of course, a lot happens in the episode, and a lot's going down with Y and Patton on the rugby field, and Y deciding to risk losing the game just because I can't stand Pat. I hate him. Y is the kind of person where if he was dying of thirst and he needed water, and the only person in the world that had water to give him so he wouldn't die of thirst was someone he hated, instead of accepting the water, the person's like, look, put everything aside, I just want to make sure you survive, here's your water, let me get you to the hospital. This man will die of dehydration. Why is something else? Let's leave it on that note. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, you can check out my Linktree links to see how else you can support the podcast through the merch shop, or just listening to podcast itself actually helps as well a lot. Please continue to support the podcast. Remember, you can also check out older review episodes to see what we've reviewed already. Maybe there'll be something there that you haven't watched yet. You can check out the review to see if it's something you want to watch for yourself. A lot of my other reviews, because they're of movies or shows that I fully aired, I actually have a rating out of 10. I'm not doing ratings for this series because I'm watching it as it goes. Probably about episode 12, I'll go ahead and give it a rating for you guys. It's probably going to be very high as long as it keeps going in the way it's going, because I'm really enjoying myself no matter what. Yeah. I'll be able to give you guys a rating, but yeah, remember you can check out the other episodes, hear the ratings, see what other movies or TV shows or whatever you want to watch. I also put some of the links to some of the trailers or to where you can watch some of those shows in those reviews as well. So thank you guys so much for listening. This is JD Young, and see you next time when we make some more time for BL.